Okay, gonna blind ourselves. Gosh dang, it's like one giant headlight. So the world's brightest headlights got even brighter. Now they're super overcharged to 65 watts. It's insane. If you live in the city and you don't really do much traveling and you don't need super bright lights, then these are not the headlights for you. If you do driving like me, which is through mountain passes, out in the open desert, or you live in the Pacific Northwest where it's always rainy and you need extra brightness, because if you've driven in the rain, you know the headlights, they reflect weird, especially on pavement that has just been paved and it's dark and rainy, and you need extra bit of light for that. So I'm in Portland and it rains every day. It gets dark at 3:30 in the winter, and so I need these. Like I said, I go out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and I'm using these for the high beams only because my car has projector headlights, and according to BulbFacts, these are actually a little bit less bright than the Pro X version 2 55 watts. So I'm keeping those in my projectors, but my high beams are reflectors, and so I put these into the reflectors, and they are insane. So they say the Lux is only like 100 more, and it's only a slight improvement versus the previous generation, but the beam pattern's a lot different, and these almost act like a spotlight. So what I'm trying to explain is, like, the last high beams, I mean, they were bright. You guys saw me talking about it's like the power of the sun. It was very bright, scattered everywhere, you know, illuminate everything. But these kind of focus the light forward, and so you can just see this intensity, like spotlight beam pattern, just going straight forward. So it really helps with distance, and the overall lumens are actually a lot higher than the previous gen. So you do get that kind of scatter to the side. So I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like a crazy spotlight going forward, and then you get that extra illumination around the sides in the near distance. So insane. The color temperature is a little more blue than the previous one, but your eyes adjust. Like, I'm a filmmaker and I do a lot of skiing, and so yes, you see that it's a slightly bluer color, but when you actually go outside and like you turn them on, and your eyes will adjust. You put red goggles on when you're skiing and your eyes adjust and everything doesn't look red anymore. Or technically, like, the color temperature around sunset is supposed to be like almost like a reddish yellow, but your eyes adjust and you don't see that until you turn on the camera and you don't have auto white balance, and then you gotta white balance it. So it's completely different. I'm not really an unboxing person, but just for the people that are in unboxings, this is what it looks like. I've already put one bulb in to do a side-by-side. So these are the new ones right here. The 65, pretty tough, pretty heavy. You can kind of see the shape of it and how it has this little like node thing at the tip, and I think that's what's causing the performance not to be as well on a projector. Again, I'm not like a lighting designer, I don't know what's going on, but here's the 55 watt. This is what I had in the high beam before. This is the current model that I'm using for my projector low beams, because these still perform better in projector housings versus these, which if you have reflectors, these are like #1 for high beams and low beams. But my car has projectors for the low beam, so I use this, so I think it just helps it amplify and kind of shoot out more. But these look cooler. These kind of have like a Ninja Star Wars kind of look. I like it. These look a little more basic, but nobody's like staring at the bulb, so all we care about is performance. And so this is what the 65 watt looks like. You got this thing. This is always hard to stuff into the housing, especially if you have a small car like mine. Guess they're about the same size, yeah, so came with some other little, I guess, adapter things. Anyways, this is the comparison. This is what the 65 looks like, and this is the old 55. And this is better for projectors, and then this is better for reflectors, which is what my high beams are, and that's why I went with that. So there is a little bit of discoloration because of the wall. I had to come to a parking garage because I don't really have a wall or an actual garage at my apartment complex. But you can definitely see that this is more of a whiter bluish color, and then this is more of a yellow one. This is the 55 watt version 2s. So their color temperature is like 5,600 and then these are a little over like 6,000. So in person the difference isn't as noticeable, but the main thing you can see with these high beams is obviously this one is a lot brighter. So look at the hot spot on the new 65 watts versus the hot spot up here on the 55 watts. The brightness and tests show that there's only a slight improvement, but in person it does look stronger. Then again, I am parked pretty up close, but you can definitely see the hotter hot spot with the new lights that are here, and I kind of just threw them in. They're just kind of wobbling and not perfectly in place, so they're not aligned fully, so I'll have to take the full bumper off to get them fully aligned. But I'm just trying to show the difference between the hot spot and the old brightest high beams of all time versus the new brightest high beams of all time, which are like super crazy bright. So we're backing up. Obviously everything is not fully aligned, but you can see slightly bluer color temperature on the left, but a stronger hot spot. Seems like a better beam pattern too, so it's more kind of like a spot or floodlight. Let's go forward. So definitely stronger for high beams on the 65. Again, this was the hottest and most strong possible high beam you could get in the world back when they came out about 1.5 years ago, and then now they've just been overthrown. Slightly bluer color temperature, something I'm not really a fan of when you're driving in the snow or rain, but I mean that brightness, definitely stronger. The 55 watt V2 DDM tuning Sabre Pros, and then here's the new 65. So this one has more lumens, but as you can see, slightly bluer than that. Again, and if you just drive all the time, you're not going to notice a difference between those. So there's a sign way up there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I got the high beams on. Right when I started filming, I set this, so we're gonna see how long it takes to get up to that sign. My camera's not the best for low light, but you guys can see that we're getting closer to that one sign that we said we would get to. These are with the high beams. There's the lows. They're still pretty good because of the squirrel finders, but high beams, you can see a lot more too, it's just hard to tell. Getting close. Go. Signs are kind of blinding, honestly, though. Alright, we passed the sign that's pretty much exactly 1 mile, and it could have gone farther. So we're on like the side of a cliff, and then really hard to see, but you can see there's like another canyon way out that way. Insane. And yeah, it's pretty dark. You can see the stars. Here's a Big Dipper, I think it is. And here's some of the crazy reverse lights. Check out, they're pretty much like headlights in the back of the car. Got the high beams on, and there's like a parking lot all the way down there. See how long it casts my shadow. Gosh dang, I look like a giant. Okay, we're gonna blind ourselves. Gosh dang, it's like one giant headlight Oop. These are like little headlights. A little hybrid. Street signs, again, too bright, kind of blinds you, so don't do this in an area where there's a lot of street signs. But yeah, as you can see, the beam is really focused too in the middle, so it kind of almost has like a spotlight effect, so it really throws light versus the last pair of high beams that I had. So it's a little more concentrated. Yeah. Personally, my advice, like, these are the brightest for reflectors, including low beams, but especially if you drive in a city, please don't do this. I know that some people just want the brightest headlights, but it doesn't matter how you aim them. These lights are so powerful that if you just try to put these in like your old car from like the 90s and you have reflectors, you're gonna be blinding all of the traffic. So like I said, I'm reserving these for reflectors on my high beams when I really need them when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they can literally shine over a mile away. Like, it's insane. Like, I've had to flash my lights at a few people, which I tried not to do because these are so bright, but you know, sometimes you have to, even if you're behind somebody, like say they're at a red light and they just won't go and you don't want to honk and disturb the peace. I mean, it's like crazy strobe. You can see everything inside their car if they don't have tinted windows. So I'm not trying to be a butthole about that, but keep in mind these are very, very bright. So hence high beams for like backcountry type driving around. If you want something that's not as bright but a lot better of an upgrade, like I put a link in the description below for these super bright headlights, but then the ones that are better for projector headlights and maybe different color temperatures, this website has a few others. I don't get any commissions. I'm just saying this is a really good place to like get legit headlights that are not like crappy Chinese Amazon brands, because those, it's all about the beam pattern and the design and how long they last, and not just getting some cheap knockoff headlights unless you're trying to get like a temporary fix. So yeah, check the link in the description below. Again, I don't even get a commission. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get high quality headlights, please get good quality headlights so you're not blinding everybody, because I'm on the road too. I'm a driver. I'm not just a freaking reviewer. I clock in like 20,000 miles a month. Like, I'm pretty much like a professional driver, but not really. So anyways, there's that. And also, if there's street signs, these are so bright that if you put the high beams on, they will reflect back and you won't be able to see. So make sure you're in the middle of nowhere, because you will just blind yourself. It's insane. And if it's foggy or snowing, you're gonna blind yourself. So definitely try to have the low beams. But yeah, these are just so bright that there's actually situations where they work against you.